Hello and welcome to the channel. It's me, Jalen, back on another video. If you're new here, I like to do commentary and gaming, but I have a Twitch channel for gaming. Same name, but I have a gaming channel for Twitch, and on YouTube I do commentary and reviews like that. Well, just mostly commentary about things. Today we'll be talking about Channel Orange, album by Frank Ocean. So, if you don't know anything about me, which, to be fair, the internet doesn't know who I am yet, so we're getting there, but I happen to like Frank Ocean a lot. As you can see, my posters, Frank Ocean albums, my whole room's kind of like, take, shall we? Okay, so if you don't know nothing about me, which most of the internet doesn't know anything about me yet, we'll get there soon though. Frank Ocean is one of my favorite artists. He's probably top 3, top 4, top 5. Nah, I would say top 3. I've known his music since I was like a wee lad. So like, first time I heard his music, I was like 4 or 5, 6, 7. I can't say that in back-to-back videos now, can I? No. Okay, so I kind of knew about his music for a long time. I'm 16 right now, so I've been a fan for him, I would say, since probably... Okay, I was a fan of his, but I wasn't really like a geek fan about him, I would say, until like 2 years. 2 years ago. 2 years ago is when I actually started to fall in love with Channel Orange and all his music in general. But Channel Orange is one of my favorite albums of all time, and I would like to discuss the reason that Channel Orange means so much to me personally, why it's such a good album, and why I think Frank Ocean is one of the best artists, but why I think this album shows that he's one of the best artists in the modern era. So, a little backstory about Channel Orange. Came out July 7th, 2012. At that time, I was 3 years old, so I know nothing now, but we're gonna, modern. So, I'm 16 right now, right? When I was a freshman in high school, this album helped me go through a lot. Like, everything I went through freshman year and somewhat sophomore year, but mostly freshman year, I just listened to this music nonstop every day for like 6 months straight. Like, I have literally my top 3 Apple Music all time is Thinking About You, Sierra Leone, and Sweet Life. 3 songs from this album. So clearly you can tell that I like the album. But I want to dive deeper into why I think the album is so good. First, we'll start off backstory, like I said. Came out July 7th. Before this, Frank released a project called Nostalgia Ultra, which I did make a video about. And that video was on my channel. Has around 30 views. That was one of my first commentary videos, but I wasn't recording, this beautiful face that you see here today. I was doing voiceovers, but I realized that I feel like I could connect with more people if I actually saw my face instead of just talking and rambling behind a mic, which a lot of people do a lot too much. So yeah, that's why I kind of started doing the face cam commentary videos. But anyways, before I divert into another yap session, because I had 30-minute yap session on my last video. He released Nostalgia Ultra on Tumblr, technically. It wasn't officially released. The 2 official singles were Nova King and Swim Good. Those are on all your streaming services, but the album itself is not on streaming services, but you can get easy access to the album if you just go on Tumblr. All the songs are down there for download. If you have a computer or phone, anything, you can download the album on. And it's kind of like the predecessor. It has some similarities to Channel Orange. I would say the songs that are similar are definitely Songs for Women, because I think that's that and Thinking About You are kind of similar. Strawberry Swings and Sweet Life is kind of similar in tone. And I think Pink Powder and American Wedding, also similar. They don't sound alike, but lyricism definitely sounds similar. But anyways, to the actual album, this was his first studio released album at the time. He was still in Odd Future, but this was his first solo project. That wasn't Nostalgia Ultra. And now, this part or this section, because I'll like divide the video up into sections. That was the intro. So this is like the main part where we talk about the cultural significance of the album. Channel Orange is a deeply complex album, I will say that, but not in like a surface level way. It talks about themes of love, not violence, love, isolation in like super rich kids, longing. I like the sense of longing, drug addiction. Talks about like not prostitution. What kind of prostitution? Pyramids is a song about prostitution, and a couple other topics. The theme of the album is orange, so like it's called Channel Orange, and from the start, literally the start of the album, you can hear in the background of start that Frank is turning on a PS1, and it's like the summer. So if spring is like green and yellow, vibrant colors, fall is like dusk colors like brown, bronze, yellow, that type of thing, and if winter is white and black, summer is kind of orange and blue, which are two colors talked about in the album, but the main focus is orange. Every song in this album has like a tint of orange. Like Falling in Love, I would associate the color orange, more so red, because red is like color. So yeah, I would say orange is like a tint. So we're seeing the eyes of this album through Frank, but in different perspectives and different stories throughout the song. So obviously the single from this album is Thinking About You. And what is Thinking About You about? Let's go here, because I know what it's like. So song starts off with saying a tornado flew around my room. Now a lot of people can interpret that a lot of ways, but I interpret that as the first time we fell in love, it kind of feels like you're spinning like a tornado. Tornado spins, and when you fall in love, it's a sense of spinning, like happiness. But the song it's not all good. As in the song, he talks about thinking about person, obviously. The song's called Thinking About You, but thinking about you. And he's basically kind of analyzing like how bad he misses this person or his lover or his love interest in this song. And the key lyrics, because for all the songs I did like most important lyrics, so because it actually truly gives meaning to the song. That's why I'm doing this whole thing, to give like an actual what the album means in total, why it means so much to me. So I would say Thinking About You, one of the most important lyrics is No, I Don't Like You. I just thought you were cool enough to kick it. A lot of times talking stages are very awkward, and you really don't talk to people unless you think they're cool and you want to be around them. So when he says, no, I don't like it, I thought you were cool enough to kick it, I think it's in the perspective of his lover, because I think his lover just thinks Frank is cool enough to kick it, but then Frank says, I got a beach house I could sell you in Idaho. And then he's like, since you think I don't love you, I just thought you were cute, that's why I kissed you. Clearly Frank in this song is just obsessed, healthily obsessed with a person. Because if you love a person and you're always thinking about them, I would say that's a good thing. If someone is constantly on your mind, I would say that's a good thing. Now it can turn, and we can see in the next song, Fertilizer, that kind of turns, but just overall to wrap up Thinking About You, and then he's like, you were my first time, a new feel, which means first time for everything, right? First time lover, first time heartbreak, first time love. So all in all, the total of this song, I think it captures first love, like just being in love. Like the song is just thinking about that someone, whoever makes you feel like that, right? It's a good song. It's not my favorite song off the album, but to start an album, that's very good. Very good. To kick it. So, Fertilizer. it's not really a song, it's a skit, but it's a song by James Flatneroy, but Frank kind of turned it into like a interlude of some sorts. But it's saying, all the song's saying is, I'll take bull if that's all you got. And just like, because this will go by quick, have you ever been in a situation where it's like, this person is literally talking nonsense, but you're just there because you want to be with the person, and you're just like sitting there taking it, but you don't care as long as you get to talk to the person. Fertilizer explains that that it doesn't really go into the sadness of it, but a lot of people don't give their all, when I would say, into relationships, and that's kind of like thing fertilizer. Like, if you pour even 1% into something, the other person's gonna just take it, because it's the life of the relationship. It bleeds life into the relationship. Whew, 10 minutes, and I'm not even close to finishing the album. Okay, so I guess we'll just cut it here, and then, take two, I guess. Whew, I misclicked. I didn't stop the record. So, into the next part of this video, we have Sierra Leone. It's tied, but originally this is my favorite song of the album, but through closer inspection, it's kind of tied for first, but let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. Sierra Leone is a song about having a child unplanned. Even literally the start of the song, it says we're spending too much time alone. And we're behaving like teenagers. If you know anything, teenage pregnancy is a huge thing when it comes to just life in general. There's a lot of teen pregnancies. Teen pregnancies happen, right? And this song kind of takes it and turns it into like a love song melody that's happy, upbeat. It doesn't get down on itself very easily. So when he says we're spending too much time alone, we're behaving like teenagers, he's kind of acknowledging his behavior is kind of not the best behavior. I mean, as a teenager myself, I would not have a kid knowing I can't take care of him or her, because I'm 16 and my job is talking on a mic to people on the internet. Obviously, it's my passion and I want to do it, but from Frank's view in the song, it's kind of like, yo, you're kind of, being a little messy. But in the song, I honestly think the most important part of the song is like, he grew up in Sierra Leone. And for those who know what Sierra Leone is, it's a country known for its beautiful pink skies. Maybe I'll put some images of pink skies in here. Just insert here. Maybe I'll put some imagery. But for now, if you can image a pink sky, like sunset, right? As they're going through the first part of the song, it's kind of like they're kind of making love, And he's saying he grew up in Sierra Leone, which pink, if you know where I'm going with this, because I don't know if I can say this. I don't want to get guideline striked. I don't want to get blocked, but pink skies. If you know, you know, type thing. But he grew up, like, when they realized they were having a baby, and in the song he says, a new day will bring about the dawn, right? And a new day will bring another crying baby into this world. After, which I assume months of having this unprotected sex with his partner or whatever, they have a child. Okay, I'm gonna name the child Sierra because the song is called Sierra Leone. Sierra makes the most sense. And in the second part of the song, he's singing basically to Sierra like, oh, I'll rock her in the cradle when it's time to go to sleep. Oh, go to sleep. Whoa, I'll sing a Lennon lullabies, have a pretty dream. Baby girl, if you knew what I know now. That's how the song basically ends. And he's saying, so trying to visualize this the best you can so you guys don't get bored. Visualize you talking to your daughter, and you had a baby, say at this age, right? And you're like rocking her, right? And you're just like, if you knew what I know. Basically, he's saying to his daughter, if you knew how fast I had to grow up because of you. But he's not blaming on his daughter. I don't want you guys to get confused. He's not blaming on his daughter. It's kind of like a realization moment. And the oohs and the song kind of perfectly encapsulate, like, yeah, this moment was pretty intense. Love is love, I guess, right? But the fact that he realized, not his mistake, but he realized what he did, owned up to it, and is taking care of the daughter, as we can see, makes this song one of my more favorite songs on the album, because I like how he takes teen pregnancy and makes a song about, and it's an uplifting song. It's not a down song. Like, obviously, if you hear the song, I know a lot of people listen to Frank Ocean, so if you've heard the song, you've heard how, like, it kind of sounds majestical, like the pink skies of Sierra Leone. Like an analogy, like pink skies, like, ooh, whoa, whoa. Anyways, into the next song, because this video is going to take forever, because I talk too much sometimes, but talking too much is kind of my thing, so, we'll continue. I do want to note that I feel like the main message of the first three songs is just kind of like falling in love, like thinking about you. Fertilizer talks about struggles within relationships, like people not trying hard enough to Sierra Leone when they actually try too hard, see what happens. So, sorry, I had to swallow real quick. No Diddy. Sweet Life. Again, one of my personal favorites. When I first heard this song, I've heard the album before, but I've heard bits and pieces before freshman year, when I actually took a time, because what I like to do, sorry for this tangent, but what I like to do when I'm recording these videos is I like to take the album of my favorite artist, right? I like to set the mood, because I have LED lights, right? I picked orange, obviously, for channel orange. And I like to listen. I like to just zone out into the music and hear everything. Sweet Life is a very confusing song at first when I first heard it, because he's saying he grew up in Ladera Heights, and he called it the Black Beverly Hills. For people who don't know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, but just to be thorough, Beverly Hills is a place for rich people. I've personally never been to Beverly Hills, but I've been in California. But Beverly Hills, Hollywood, like the luxury lifestyle. Basically, the song is set in like luxury, right? And he's talking about the most important lyric in the song, right? I won't go through the full song, but like I'll go detail the song, but I'm not going through every lyric, but I'm just saying the most important lyrics. When he says, "Why see the world when you got a beach?" A lot of times people like to be comfortable. Not a lot of people like to be uncomfortable. My coach has even said, because I play basketball. I love basketball too. And I love making YouTube videos. It's kind of dual threat. That's why I named the channel Dual Threat, because I do a lot of... Anyways. My coach said this, that you have to get uncomfortable to actually live your life. Because if you're comfortable, you're never going to experience things that maybe once time. Like, I hated going underwater. But I've been underwater a couple times, and it isn't as bad as it used to be. So, in Sweet Life, it kind of takes that, and it's like, wait, he's asking himself, why see the world when you got a beach? I mean, the Black Beverly Hills, you kind of got all you want. Even in the song, it's like, he said, you've had a landscaper and a housekeeper since you were born. Bro, if me, I was living like that my whole life, I would be, más o menos on things like, Dios mío, like, why would I ever want to get out of this bubble? But I think the song mostly recognizes isolation, that not getting out in the world can cause you to only see one thing through tunnel vision. And if you always lived your life having everything, you don't know what other people feel like not having everything. And I think this also kind of devolves into materialism. When people materialize things too much, it kind of gets to the point where the materialized things lose their worth. I know sometimes For instance, this wall is not even done, really. I want to literally have like a whole album wall, but I have no bread yet because I'm not making money off this. I'm just like, I want to make money one day, but off of this. But I also just love making videos. But as you can see, my album wall isn't complete, but I got a couple albums right there, right? And those things mean a lot to me because I bought them with my money. And I've obviously valued those things, right? But a lot of times, people will buy something, not value it, and then just have it. And it's kind of like the song in a nutshell. Like, you have all these things, so why not just see the world? Because the world could be better than what you have, but if you're too comfortable, you're just gonna want to see the beach because the beach is all you've ever known. And for that, I give Frank credit. That's a very good way. I'm not just glazing here. That's a very good way to talk about isolation and, struggles with materialism modern society faces. Because I feel like a lot of us struggle with materialism, and having things isn't bad in itself, but like only focusing on things because it's things and it doesn't actually bring you value is kind of like privilege. Like, you're privileged to have these things, but you don't care about them enough to actually take care of them or just accept that you are grateful and you are blessed to have these things, right? This video, bro, I'm not gonna lie, this video might be an hour long. I'm trying to cut it into parts, but if I keep cutting into parts, then, well, actually, cutting into parts is better, because if I don't, then the video is actually gonna be like 50 minutes. And trying to edit that is, I'm just gonna end it at one time. So, next track we'll go into is Super Rich Kids, with a verse from Earl Sweatshirt, another Odd Future member. This song, when I first heard it, I didn't like the song. I love the song. You thought I was gonna say I didn't like the song and I just don't like it? No. The song grew on me. At first I was like, okay, this is a cool track. It's talking about money, two rich kids, because Earl and Frank are rich, and in the song they're rich kids. But as I got older, especially towards the end of freshman year, and I was seeing a lot of things. I might make a video about my freshman experience in high school. It was crazy, but for what can I say? I'm losing my train of thought here. Rich people do have problems, and what's funny is this became a trend on TikTok where it was like disassociation, like super rich kids with nothing but fake friends, and it would show people with these big houses just being like, I have no friends, and you get people in the comments saying, bro, you have all that, like you're rich, right? And I think in everyone, I'm talking about every country has this problem where they assume rich people just don't have issues. Now, I'm not saying that rich people have a lot of issues. No, scratch that. I am saying that they have a lot of issues. Everyone has issues, right? No matter the amount of money you have, because we're still human at the end of the day. Rich people there's this arrogant sense around rich people that they don't have issues because their money can solve most of their issues, right? I mean, obviously money can solve not having to fight for paying over bills, right? But if you're alone, money can't buy you a girlfriend. Money can't buy you love. Money can't buy you friends, because most likely people who are rich and have friends, those friends are probably fake because they're only in it because that person has money. I'm not saying all people, obviously. I'm just saying some people. Don't twist my words, because obviously, like, I have a couple friends that are rich, but I would never use them just because they're rich. They're my friends, so obviously I care about them, right? And in this song, Frank, alters between those. It's a thin line between, he's almost too rich, because in the house, it's like he fell off of stories or whatever. That's how rich he is. Like, he living in a penthouse. But in the beginning of the song, it's like I start my day up on the roof. Like, if you start your day on the roof, you are crazy, first of all. And that means you have a lot of money. Because who's starting their day going up on that roof? Nobody. Exactly, my boy. So, he starts up on the roof. He's going through his day. He says, I prefer expensive news. And it's kind of a double entendre when it says news. Because it's read it as NEWS, like the news. Like, keeping up with everyone's daily life. But he's saying news as in, if there's a new car, he wants to get it. If there's a new game, well, he doesn't say that, but if there's a new game, he wants it. If there's a new watch, he wants it. He gonna get it because he's super rich, right? Now, that's not necessarily a problem, but later in the song, you kind of see, as I'm gonna adjust my mic a little bit so it's not that loud. Now, okay, now it's a good volume. Wait, hold up. Let me just adjust it one more time to where it's barely, yeah. Okay, that's good. So, he's basically just going through his day, right? And he's starting to wonder, like, he doesn't have his parents around. He says his parents aren't around enough or ain't around enough. And ain't that something rare? I'm searching for. Well, both lyrics don't take place at the same time. But when he says parents aren't around enough, I know a ton of kids who are kind of rich. Not rich, but they're well off. That literally say all they do is stay in the house all day. And don't do anything. And they just hang out with friends. Which isn't a bad thing. Again, I'm not saying anything that's bad. But at a certain point, there's a bit of isolation that kicks in because you're not around your peers. Wealth and social acceptance go together. If you're broke, most likely you're not going to be in the social circle with popular people because you're broke. But if you're rich, if you're super rich, you're almost in this tier above regular well-off people that, yes, they could still be your friend, but you're kind of having so much money that they kind of get envious of you, I would say, and be like, oh my goodness, I never knew a man could have this much money. And to be honest, it's kind of true. And I think the thing that resonates with me is like, he keeps saying in the song, I'm searching for a real love. Just because you're rich doesn't mean you know happiness. The saying that money can't buy everything, including happiness, is true. Even if I, myself, a 16-year-old content creator, had all the money in the world, I don't have that much money right now, and I kind of struggle making friends. I mean, I can't make friends, obviously. Like, I have friends, but I'm saying it's a little harder for me to make friends now because I'm in high school and I'm a junior, so it's like it's harder to make friends now and connect with people. And I couldn't imagine being well off rich because people are just gonna be like, yo, you have so much money, go do something. And maybe the first time you go do something with your money, the 5th time, the 10th time, but around the 20th time you're doing the same thing because you just have that much money, you're gonna get bored of it. And when he's saying he's searching for a real love, he wants something tangible. He wants something that he can hold on to because his parents aren't even around in the song. And when parents aren't around, you don't get a connection to mommy and daddy, which if you don't have a good relationship with your parents, you're not really going to be good at making relationships with others. But I will say in the end of the song, his girl, because in the song is saying shower head and his girl's giving him shower head. So he clearly has a girlfriend, right? But throughout most of the song, he's kind of like, I need a real love. But he doesn't realize it. His girlfriend was there the whole time. And if he says no green, no Lucky Charms, she's smoking weed. Like, they're doing a ton. But his girl was really right there, thick and thin. And for that is very good. But he dies in the song. Okay. Let me not say die, because I don't want to be a negative channel. And I don't want to put death, like, in my videos because I'm positive perfect. I hate talking about death. So in this song, we're just gonna say he falls. He somehow survives, but he falls off 24 stories or more because his girl, like, he's drunk. The second part of the song, he's drunk, and he's like, you know, like kind of like get up for this one, but he's kind of like wobbling, right? He's kind of like wobbling, right? Because imagine you're a person, you come up, you're on a roof, and you really don't know what your steps is, so you're like, whoa, right there, right? Kind of standing up, like, whoa, touche. And he kind of sits down, and he kind of falls. Right? That's aura right there. He kind of falls, and his girl actually gets him up by his sleeve, and his sleeve rips, and then he falls again into the town. And he's saying, I've never seen the market like this, because he's never been on the ground floor with people, money-wise, and that's what the whole song ties to. He isn't with anyone socially or normally. Like, he's so rich that he doesn't have anyone. So when he kind of falls back to reality, other people's reality, he's like, oh, I'm searching for a real love. You know? And to wrap up this song, I know the song kind of took a while. It's kind of a long song, even though Pyramids is longer. Why is Pyramids a 10-minute song, bro? But anyways, that's for super rich kids. I have to cut this part down a little bit because it is 20 minutes, and I'm trying to make the video like only an hour. It could be the hour the longest, but you know, I'm working on a Chromebook here, so I gotta cut this part. But I will be back, obviously, to finish up the rest of that. I'm not gonna leave you guys on a cliffhanger, so we'll be back in the next part. Okay.